Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are we doing today? I know there's not a whole lot of people in here yet, but we will be getting started very quickly. How's everybody doing? I know people are probably just starting to get notified that we are live. So we will give you a few more seconds and let people come in. Give me a few seconds and I will notify everybody. Okay. Okay. So I know everybody is going to be real excited to be here. Not really, but well, we'll cover things as they come. Okay, Pennsylvania, Pennsylvania. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I know I know there's going to be a few people on, so hopefully everybody will come in quickly. Another Pennsylvanian. Hello from Georgia. Perfect. Guys, we are definitely from not four. Okay. Yeah, okay. Ariel, North Carolina, welcome. Welcome, Irwin. Hopefully you're doing better today, Grumpy. Okay. Having your coffee in California. That's awesome. I actually just had my coffee. I'm about ready to open my first Pepsi. I know everybody's laughing about it, but yeah. Good morning from Washington, North Carolina. Well, howdy. So, who all paid attention to that? Um, sorry, excuse of a address to the nation. I was listening to a few other programs this morning. Not only just conservative talk, but a lot of people on both sides of the aisle were talking about the address, and they were talking about how sloppily done it was. So, what happened to? Okay, what happened to him? We went our separate ways. So I am no longer affiliated with him. But yeah, I'm just addressing that just briefly, and yep, that's just the way it is. So, guys, all of you guys are coming in and talk, coming in from all over the place. I know some of you guys are people that I know really well. Some of them are not so easily known, but or so well known. But guys, we will do our best to get to know you. We definitely have gotten to know quite a few people over on the Signal platform. I'm glad to see that it's still growing each and every single day. It seems like we've been adding about 5 to 10 people a day. So it's Queenie. No, I did not. We are in. It is almost to the point where I can start tiling it. So very quick, very soon it will be done. It's not just a 1 day project, unfortunately. So yeah, so we're gonna be we're going to be having a conversation here a little bit today in regards to a few of the bills that they're trying to ram through in the dead of the night, and I'm going to kind of explain how the bill process works, because there's a lot of people who are saying bills are passing, but they only pass like one house or the other. It's never just both of them. So there's it's very, very confusing how Washington works. So we're gonna just touch on that a little bit and go from there. So K Riz, I did send you a message on Twitch that gives you the link as well. So, but yeah, we're gonna cover a few different things. So just bear with us as we get going today. It looks like things are moving forward. Everybody's coming in. We have 25 people, and we haven't even started, but maybe 6 minutes ago. So we Sally, you're absolutely correct. We did have different visions, different directions that we wanted to go. There's some that want to cover certain topics that I couldn't discuss, A, because of what I used to do, and B, it wasn't a comfortable place for me to be discussing things. So Sam the barber just finished passing meds. Hopefully you're doing well, and I hope that the med passing went all right. I know how that goes. So, but yeah. So good morning, everybody. This is just another episode of Patriot News Network, where we had an open commentary pretty much yesterday for Sleepy Joe's little deal that he had going on. It was the worst excuse for a presidential address to the nation. It was the worst excuse for one, but he did it, and in less than 20 minutes, he was starting to go downhill already. So I feel bad for the guy, but the guy put himself in that position. So I guess he gets to suffer the consequences of that decision. So yes, we're gonna go into a whole bunch of stuff. So if Jason is up for it, I'm gonna just send him a link so he can join just in case. If he wants to jump in, he can. If not, that's fine. He actually was not. It was actually not broadcast from the White House. It was at the Lincoln Memorial. That's where it was supposed to be set up and done from. So, seen a couple places that said it was pre-recorded. There are some people that are saying that yes. Can I put a definitive that it was? No. But if you actually look at the ability, or the cable news networks, they have the ability to green screen just about anything anywhere. So would it surprise me? No. But I'm not gonna fuel speculation by saying that it happened. But I think it's safe to say that nobody here on this channel actually trusts mainstream media. they're guys. I'm gonna pull something up real quick, and then I'm gonna just show you. So, guys, we did actually get our website's actually starting to come back together, and I apologize. It's been kind of a work in progress, but I'm gonna just quick share this. I know you guys are familiar with Jason and I, especially my ugly mug. But yeah, if you come here, you can get every single one of our episodes that we've recorded. Resources page. Where do we go to get or research a lot of the stuff? And there's going to be more added each and every single day. So don't feel like you have to understand exactly where it's coming from. And then you're able to log in if you want to go to the store, and there's a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, coffee mugs and pillows. I mean, we have a bunch of stuff, so don't ever we don't ever feel like if you guys don't see something that you like, keep checking back because chances are eventually it'll be there. So, but yeah, anyways, so let's people keep talking about what's in the bill that Biden just signed, this COVID relief bill. I know it's only 9% of what Americans are going to receive. And then if your name is Nancy Pelosi or Charles Schumer, you have actually taken all of the stuff that all of your dreamy wish list, like bailing out the unions, like bailing out the pension plans of failing blue states, all that. Then you got everything you wanted. And then those unions are going to turn around and flush money straight into your pocket. This, okay, guys, I'm going to make a statement, and this statement alone could probably get me shut down in the halls of Washington, D.C. 99% of all Democrat and probably a good 50% of all Republicans are involved in the largest RICO scheme in the world. What is a RICO scheme? Racketeering, money laundering. All that fun stuff falls under the RICO laws. It is the biggest pay for play scheme in the nation's history and probably in world history. So, yeah, I'm just, guys, I look at these politicians and they're these pet projects of theirs. They're like, you know what? We need $50 billion to build this bridge across to Canada and our home state in New York. They get it, and the actual bridge would have cost $115 million, and that's by conservative estimates. If it was a corporation that managed their time wisely and everything, about $115 million. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers has already estimated that job, but because it's in New York and they use New York companies, it is going to be a lot higher. So, guys, and then Nancy Pelosi turns around and we need $119 billion to bail out the blue states, and we were running a budget deficit, and we just, if we don't get this money, we're going to be bankrupt in 2 years. Bankrupt yourself. Get rid of the corruptocrats, because the corruptocrats are the ones that are causing 90% of the problems. I'm going to use Detroit as an example. So Detroit has been the model of what conservative versus what liberal policies do. So for almost 65 years, Detroit itself was ran by liberals. It went from being the motorhead city of the world to having a population that was poor and morally corrupt and morally beat down by everything out under the sun. They would raise the minimum wage there, and more people would go homeless. And their mindset is not to think logically. So there's a place that I used to do some work in. It was called Bagley Elementary, and anybody who's been to Detroit, who's been downtown Detroit, into the ghettos, into the hoods, they know where Bagley Elementary is. It's right on 6 Mile Road. It's not that big of a jaunt in, but I was talking to one of the teachers there, and she said a lot of people look at you funny because they've never seen a white man in person in their entire lives. I said, well, how can that be? You guys live in a city that's diverse. She said, yeah, but when you cross over 8 Mile Road, you're either high or you're absolutely insane for a white man to cross 8 Mile Road and come down to 7 Mile, or even go as far as 6 Mile Road. So, guys, if they think white people are that scary, and there's that sheltered to think that their little world on 6 Mile and 7 Mile Road is all there is, we have a lot of work to do. We have outreach to do. But going back to Detroit, so a Republican ran against a liberal, and for the first time in 65 years, they won. That year, after they proposed the budget cuts and all that stuff, that year they actually ran a surplus of over $150 million. The following year, they were running a surplus of almost $215 million. That was then correlated into increased spending into these certain lower service neighborhoods. And then you started to see the Michigan or the Detroit turnaround take place. This is back in 2013, guys. The correlation of conservative values versus liberal values are two different things. Conservatives, we want people to work. We want people to actually to eat and work and earn their living by the sweat of their brow. Does that mean literally sweat? No. Actually put your thought and soul into working. So, yeah, guys, I have not even been paying attention to the comments. So I'm sorry if you guys are talking and you're asking questions and so on and so forth. But when you juxtapose liberal policies versus conservative policy, and you actually look narrow scope, and you see what the difference is, liberals, and I know there's going to be a liberal that takes offense to what I say, and I don't really care. But liberals don't have a lick of common sense when it comes to actually paying attention to what is actually going on. They think that the second you give people money, you have a voting base, and you do. But eventually, if you give people enough voting base, or if you give, that voting base is eventually going to get sick of getting. Because when you just give, anybody with a half a brain and a lick of common sense knows that you can't give money that you don't have. And Detroit was a common example. Detroit actually went bankrupt. Detroit couldn't afford to actually update their schools and all that because they were bankrupt. If it wasn't for a conservative getting in power and actually changing that around, you wouldn't see the revitalization of Detroit, Michigan, or Troy, or Royal Oak, or any of those places out there. People have to understand liberal policies are destructive because it caters to the needs of the few instead of the needs of the masses. People, there are three basic things that humans need to survive. First, they need shelter that is reasonably cost. Shelter could be anything from a rental home to a new build or a new construction home. They need food and clothing that are reasonably cost. They're not out of this world in expense, and they need work. Work keeps their mental health together. Okay, I know I put food and clothing in one category because it truly is one category. When you look, so I know everybody that's listening right now on the live stream, you guys are probably just chewing me out for even going down this road. But seriously, guys, so a house, most people don't really pay attention to the cost of the house. I could buy a building. I personally, if people want to build a house, go and order a building, like a build package. You can order a building package for $70,000 to $80,000. You find land. Let's say it's $5,000. I don't know what it is in your area, but definitely take a look and see if what I'm saying is true. But so you buy a house package, you build it, and some people, well, we don't have the skill. Well, if you're paying, let's say your house package was 65,000, your labor should be about $65,000. So it's 130,000. The math right? So if that's what your house cost, that's a reasonable package. But here's where they get you. A lot of these liberal states, they have the unions and all that. So you hire a union contractor and he pays each and every single one of his guys. I think the minimum on most carpentry or framing crews is going to be about 30 in most liberal states. And guys, I'm throwing that number out there. I've seen that number several different times. Do I know it to be 100% fact? No, but I'm just using it as an example. So you take that $30 and you figure it's going to take about 3 months. Well, for a crew of 15 to 20 guys, well, you keep doing that, and you're going to run into major problems. I'm going to just pull up the calculator real quick, and so 15 guys get paid 30 an hour times, let's say it's a 10-hour day. That's $4,500 a day, and 3 months. So in 5 days, you're already at $22,000. So unless you are able to control that cost is going to go up to 150. And now you're understanding why a house build in like New York is going to cost X amount of money. So yeah, so Guys, I want people to understand how exactly all this stuff works. Everybody talks about it. Everybody understands, but it's critical for people to understand why these policies are bad policy. And it's easier to talk about things in a manner that when you go to share it, you share a clip of this after the fact, you'll share the clip and then you'll see that, oh, there's a whole bunch of people. I don't know why I have water running upstairs, but you'll see a whole bunch of people that are out there that are all $15 minimum wage is a good thing. When I won't even pay that. I pay guys what they're worth, and if they come in off the streets and they don't know nothing, they're probably getting paid less than $15. And I don't care what state I'm in. If that's what they're coming in and they don't know nothing, I'm not paying them nothing. I'm not paying them what they're thinking they're going to get. So okay, so we got the shelter cost. So let's hammer down on the food, and you have your food and your clothing cost. Most of your clothing comes from Bangladesh, China, or Indonesia. Those are your three major suppliers and where they come from. Why do they come from there? Because Walmart can have all of the shirts, and all these suppliers can have all these shirts and everything made for 30-40 cents. But Shane, why does it cost $7, $8, sometimes even $15? Well, when it might take them only 30 cents to make it, but you take your $15 minimum wage and you apply it over 500 employees in a single day at like a Walmart. I'm just using them as an example. Take that, multiply by 8 hours, and then now you have all your overhead. That's what you have to account for, and then it's not just a floor personnel that you're having to look for. You're also paying your store manager, and the store manager's making 85,000 plus a year. You have all your accounting staff. They're making upwards of 65 to 70,000 a year. All your front end staff that have nothing to do with making a sale, they're the ones counting the tills, they're doing all that. All of those people cost money, but they're not actually involved in the sale and the retail of the products themselves. So in order to make like Walmart or a Target or whatever profitable, they have to make it so each and every single one of their products, a tiny fraction of each and every single one of their products, goes towards paying for their people. If people have been paying attention, your fruit and vegetable prices are going up. It's not because of a supply chain demand, or it's not because of the supply chain shortage. No, it's because a lot of these places are guaranteeing $15 for their minimum wage, and it being passed on to the consumer. Higher prices, higher goods. Guess what? All you're doing is driving inflation, and all you're doing is you're driving an economic destruction. So, guys, housing, food, and clothing supply. Now you have a recipe for disaster. And then jobs. Over 300,000 jobs were eliminated when these states started locking down. We had record-breaking unemployment like we haven't seen since the 1930s. People started losing hope. But what does a good government do? Oh, you know what? You don't have to worry about that. We're going to pay you money. to sit on your butt at home doing nothing. And I'm not talking about the people who lost their jobs because the companies got eliminated or whatever. These companies get eliminated because of these dumb lockdown orders that everybody else and their dog thinks that they need to do. Use some common sense. And this is a message to the governors of these states who are still locking down, like Ohio and all that. Use common sense. Use a half an ounce of brain cells, because you're destroying your own economy in your state. South Dakota, we didn't lock down. We don't have a face mask mandate. Guess what? Right now, economically, we are doing better than pretty much every other state in the country, except for Florida. Okay? We're number 2, and we didn't lock down. We didn't even have a mask mandate. Businesses didn't shut down. People didn't shutter. Did it slow down for some of us guys in the service industry? Yes. But it was until the messaging war actually started turning around in our favor to where people started opening their doors again. We are not a meek people. South Dakota, when people started really asking about South Dakota, why is it that South Dakota doesn't really stick to the same messaging that everybody else does? Because we're not cowards. Every single state that's locked down, they say they're following the science. Well, the science has already said that masks do not work in regards to virus protection. There was a 15-year study done by a Dr. Anthony Fauci and multiple other people. It is published in PubMed. The links will be in the description of this video after the fact, because it's important. You guys locked down your states. You did this to destroy a presidency, and you did a good job. You did what you were saying that you were going to do. Guess what? You also destroyed your economy, and now you want the big government to bail you out. Honestly, you guys, each and every single one of you guys has a duty. Talk to your governors. I know there's people that are going to be watching this later that are coming from Ohio, Hawaii, all over the United States. If your governors are locked down and things are locked down, you need to go out of your way, contact your representatives and tell them and demand that they start to lift these restrictions. Either lift the restrictions or face a recall, or lift these restrictions or face impeachment. Because guess what? If you don't, I guarantee the second wave is coming. And when the second wave hits, it'll be a permanent one. Restrict the people's power who are making these decisions, because they've already got a taste of the power that they have. If they have a taste of the power that they have, they will not let it go. And the next time, it'll be worse than the first time. You can mark my words. I'm going to go through the comments. I know everybody's been blowing up the comments. Guys, I didn't plan on going on a rant, but I hope you kind of learned something from it. But yeah, guys, I know I was kind of on a roll, and I apologize. So yeah, I'm just, guys, you guys are blowing up the comments. So yeah. Government has gotten too big for their britches. Absolutely. We don't need these these corrupt people telling us what's best for us. They have solved zero problems, yet created every single one. Absolutely. I agree 100%. Eminem went to 8 Mile. Actually, it was actually taped. 8 Mile was actually taped on 7 Mile Road. So, yeah. So, yeah, guys. I am way behind on the comments. So, yeah. Okay, there's a good question. How do we fix this? Made in America. Guess what, guys? So long as people are demanding the $15 minimum wage, we'll never be able to produce in America and be competitive on a world market. We won't. It's just the way it is. I mean, Craftsman, they said we will always be made in America. Guess what? Most of Craftsman tools, where are they made now? They're made in China. Until we fix this minimum wage BS and we actually make it to where we're more competitive on a world market with our pricing here in the States, we'll never be able to do this. The production cost here is per tool is almost 75 cents per tool. And I should say per unit for clothing and otherwise. But nobody's going to pay an extra 45 cents and then allow it to go all the way through. So, I should run for Congress. Maybe. So, okay. Is this live? Yes, it is live. And okay, so which article is it that you are thinking I should go over? So, Jason, if you're able to, just jump on. That way I can, if you can, that is. So there's a few news articles that you sent me. So, oh yes, we're gonna discuss that one. So I'm gonna just. You mean like this one? House lawmakers passed 2 bills aimed at strengthening the nation's gun laws, including a bill that would require background checks on all gun sales and transfers. Top Senate Democrats vowed to bring up the legislation up for a vote, but it does not have the 60 votes needed in the chamber to advance. Guys, I'm actually too young to even. I'll still be too young to run, and for anything like that in 2024. So, okay, I will get to that one in just a few moments. So, but guys, all these lawmakers saying that they're going to pass gun control legislation, and if it doesn't pass, they say they are going to take executive action to pass it. And for me, I would love nothing more for them to try to pass something like that and then come and say that, oh, we're gonna take your guns. We have a Second Amendment for a reason, guys. The Second Amendment protects every other amendment and right that's given of God under the Bill of Rights. We absolutely need the Second Amendment and it says it shall not be infringed. Any government that is willing to infringe on your rights as a citizen, they no longer have the mandate from the people, and they should be disbanded. Oh, they're going. So, yeah, we're in order to run for president or anything like that, or even to an office that would be second in, you would be required. You have to be 35 years or older. So, but yeah, I think it'd be fun. It actually be worthwhile. But I'm not sure that it would be. Yes, is the gun control stuff unconstitutional? Yeah. Um, change that law. That is actually in the Constitution. So unfortunately, I'm not going to buck the Constitution. But I will probably be campaigning on behalf of a few select politicians if I can actually get in front of them. So, but where am I getting these questions? I'm answering from Twitch. So we're. I apologize. I should be putting them up on screen, but so yeah, guys, I get on a roll and I just don't shut up. So but okay. Just double check and making sure I'm not missing something. And then it's I still want to make sure that people are taken care of. So oh yeah, guys, I know I am. NPR is not the most trustworthy source, but when it comes to print articles, they actually go through and do a decent job of telling you what's in these bills. So it's basically everybody. I don't know who all has kids, who doesn't, whatever. But what's in this bill? How does it affect people? Well, it basically says that anybody earning up to 75,000, any individual, and couples earning up to 150,000 will receive full payments of 1,400 per person. Individuals will also receive an additional 1,400 payment for each dependent claimed on their tax returns. Well, guess what? When you do that, if you're somebody like me, you get a whole lot of money. But where does that money go? How does it affect our economy? Most people are just going out and blowing the money. Or stuff like this goes for me back to the federal government because I don't take it. Send it back. So okay. I'm putting into my brother-in-law's business. I guess reinvesting the money is always a good thing. Take a close. I guess if you have if you're getting this money, you might as well use it to make more money. I guess I have no problem with that. When does a Second Amendment violation go into effect? If they try to pass a law, they will automatically get sued. There'll be a mass tort action, and it'll go straight to the Supreme Court because it is an unconstitutional act. So I think people really need to pay attention to it. But if you start seeing that advance through the Senate, watch for what's going on. But okay, how does a bill pass? Yeah, if you don't need the money, invest it into your own future. I'm getting really tired of kids running water. So, yeah, that's a good idea. But guys, I know it's kind of fiery beginning. But I told you guys I would cover how a bill's passed. Let's say a bill starts out in the House of Representatives. So it's proposed, it goes through a committee, goes to the floor for a vote. If it passes, it moves over to the Senate, and the Senate can say, put it to the floor for a vote. If it passes the Senate with no revisions, it goes straight to the president. If there's revisions that are made to it that basically make it different from the original, then it has to go back to the House for a vote before it's actually allowed to go forward. And then it goes to the president after it's been passed. But most of these bills, unless they get rid of the filibuster rule, most of the bills are required to have 60 votes. Joe Manchin has been very aggressive, and I think it's been actually surprising that he said, I will not support getting rid of the filibuster rule. They have to have a majority of people that go along with getting rid of the filibuster before they can actually pass that. So, but yeah, there is a whole lot of things that are going on, guys, and that I mean it's out there. It's military that's a Trump corrupt. There's the ones that I know that are with Trump. I don't think there's a corrupt bone in their body, but there are upper level military brass that are corrupt. Whether they're with Trump or not, I think pretty much everybody knows. So, but guys, I wasn't intending to go a whole hour. If there's questions, comments, concerns, anything that you guys want me to cover just briefly, let me know. Because otherwise, we're going to wrap this up, and I will be back at 7 p.m. tonight. So, oh. What about the border? I think the border crisis. I mean, quite honestly, guys, if you look at what's going on at the border, and you really wonder, well, why so many people are saying that there's a crisis? I know we have liberals that are going to be watching later on after the fact So I'm really gonna make this simple for them. Okay, I'm gonna dumb it down because I think dumbing it down is actually a service for them because then they don't have to look up the big words. So the border, when you have 107,000 people come across in a single, or 101,000 people come across in a single month, that's a lot of people. Get to give you guys a heads, just to give you guys an idea. Most of the stadiums that Trump filled was 50,000, and he can fill them on a single night. Well, they're if they right now they are on track to filling 2 to 3 football stadiums each and every single day. So if they give me 1 second, if they come across as being, oh, this is you're being mean to these people, they're just immigrants. Yeah, then come across legally. If you are an immigrant, come across legally. If you really truly want to be here, there is a process. Use it. We I mean, there's only 1.7 million people each and every single year that go through that exact same immigration process, and they're admitted. And guess what? They don't have Homeland Security. They don't have INS or ICE coming after them. If they can do it legally, so can you. But Shane, they're so poor. They don't have any money. Well, how about you stop paying the coyotes to bring you across the $6,000-7,000 it costs to bring you across, and you have plenty of money to go do it legally because it only costs about $1,500. So, guys, when you really look at it, who are they kidding? They're paying big money, and these Democrats are just open arms. Let's welcome them in. Let's take care of you. Let's put you in a house. When there's other Americans who are sleeping out on the streets, there's other veterans. There's veterans that are laying on the sidewalks because they can't even afford to get a flipping meal or even a motel room. If you want to see gross incompetence, look at that. And that, in and of itself, is a problem that both Republicans and Democrats have. They could care less about people who have served this country, who have mental health needs, that are laying out on the streets because their country has forgotten about them. You want to see somebody really light the pants on fire? Well, that kind of behavior is unacceptable. So where there is a saying that's used in the military a lot. We leave no man behind. We in the, whether that's in combat or other places, we leave no man behind. People who have honorably served our military, who have honorably served overseas, who are veterans of foreign wars, who are coming home with mental scars and mental health conditions that they can't deal with, and they're put out to the streets. When you sit there and you think that these people are being left on the streets to die, they don't. People don't care whether that they have mental health issues from a war. Most of your college liberals will never join the military because running 2 feet is like a workout for them. Okay. Most of them won't don an 80-pound work pack on their back. They won't don the rucksack. They won't don a uniform because guess what? It might go against their gender identity. They might identify as lazy or incompetent or a gender studies major, which I still, if anybody can tell me what a gender studies major does and what that degree is good for, if anybody can tell me what that's good for, I'd appreciate it because I've been looking for it, looking for it, looking for it. I still have yet to figure it out. So, if you guys, honestly, as Americans, we see homeless people every single day. We we overlook them. They're they are truly the most forgotten people, men and women, that we have. We need to remember them. We have all we owe a debt of gratitude to each and every single man, woman, or woman that has served. I don't care if it's in the Iraq War, Vietnam War, Korean War. I don't care. If you've been in combat, you deserve a hats off because a country is still free, still to this day, because of the sacrifices of those men and women. So, but okay, wings. All the Democrats want Cuomo out. Yeah, they gave him an ultimatum: either you resign or face impeachment. But guys, as much as I've had a blast being here today, I'm gonna allow you to get on with your day. All you guys know what's coming next. You have a pen and a microphone. Use them. The silent majority can no longer stay silent. God bless you guys. God bless the United States of America, and have a great day.